There is a small moment when irritation first appears and it often feels harmless. A glance. A habit. A behavior that looks careless or selfish. In that moment, the mind begins to fill in gaps. It tells a story quickly. The story feels true because it arrives fast. That is where anger quietly starts. Not as an explosion but as an explanation. This story is really about that moment. The moment before anger hardens. The context matters because anger is everywhere. In families, at work, on the road, online. We treat it as something that happens to us like weather. But anger is not weather. It is construction. It is built piece by piece through meaning we assign. When we see an action and explain it as intentional, careless, or disrespectful, anger grows. When we explain it as situational or accidental, anger softens. The first surface insight is that anger begins with interpretation. Two people can see the same event and feel different things. One feels angry. Another feels curious. Another feels sad. The difference is not the event. It is the explanation. Think about traffic. Being cut off can mean someone is rude. Or it can mean someone is late, scared, distracted. The body reacts based on which story we choose. This happens so fast we rarely notice we are choosing. The hidden assumption beneath this is that our first explanation is accurate. We trust it. We defend it. We share it. We vent it. But first explanations are guesses, not facts. When we treat guesses as truth, anger locks in. Venting then feels natural. It feels like release. Like letting pressure out. But venting often repeats the same explanation again and again. Each repetition strengthens it. The third insight shows a pattern. Anger feeds on itself. The more we blame, the angrier we feel. The angrier we feel, the more we blame. This loop is powerful because it feels justified. When we vent to friends, they often agree. They validate. That validation feels good. It reduces loneliness. But it does not reduce anger. It actually rehearses it. The body stays activated. Heart rate stays high. The story becomes sharper. We confuse feeling supported with feeling calmer. They are not the same. A new perspective emerges when we slow this down. Anger is not bad. It carries energy. It points to values. It signals boundaries. But it needs direction. Without regulation, anger drives action blindly. With regulation, anger becomes information. The key is not to release anger but to reshape the story that fuels it. That means asking a simple question. What might I not know? This question creates space. It introduces uncertainty. Uncertainty reduces certainty. Certainty feeds anger. This is why curiosity is so powerful. It interrupts the loop. Application to daily life starts with noticing arousal. When the body heats up, pause. Do something that cools it. Breathe slowly. Walk. Sit quietly. Lower the volume inside first. Then examine the explanation. Is this behavior about character or context? Is there another possible reason? You do not need to excuse harm. You only need to understand before acting. If action is needed, choose it deliberately. Speak directly when possible. Not through third parties. Direct conversation changes explanations. It replaces imagined motives with real information. That often reduces anger because clarity replaces guesswork. There is also an optional deeper layer. Venting persists because it meets a social need. Being heard matters. Feeling seen matters. But we can meet that need without reinforcing anger. We can ask for listening without judgment. We can say I need support, not agreement. We can share feelings without sharpening blame. This is a skill. It takes practice. But it builds bridges instead of distance. Over time, this changes relationships. Conflicts become shorter. Trust grows. Anger becomes a signal, not a weapon. The most important shift is this. Anger does not need to be expelled. It needs to be guided. When guided, it can lead to change, justice, and growth. When unguided, it consumes energy and connection. The difference lies in one pause and one question. Before venting, before blaming, before acting, ask, what might I be missing and what would happen if I chose curiosity first?